All right, now it's time to go in and annotate the text. So you're going to find this assignment, Three Cheers for the Nanny State by Sarah Conley, in the online textbook. So before I get to that, just looking at our directions down here. So as we listen to the reading of the text, we're going to annotate the margins, and we're going to look and listen for those questions: who, what, when, where, why, and how. So now you're going to go to the assignment in the Pearson textbook. So we need to get logged into Pearson. Okay, so I'm just going to go to classes because I know it's an assignment in our textbook. So I'm going to click on the class, and it's going to take us to our assignments, and you're going to look for the Three Cheers for the Nanny State objective summary annotations. That's the one you're looking for. All right, so your directions again are right here. As you listen and read the text, annotate it. Remember, a good objective summary answers the questions who, what, when, where, why, and how. You will be annotating the text to answer these questions. So these are the questions that you're going to answer in your objective summary. So clicking on the text, and again, it may take a few moments to open, but it will eventually open. So remember, we don't need this sidebar over here because you're just going to be making those annotations yourself. Looking at the background here, so it gives us the term nanny state is a negative nickname for a welfare state, which is a model of government that takes direct responsibility for the protection and well-being of our citizens. Welfare states offer basic social support, such as free health care or low-income housing, but also create laws and policies that attempt to control or influence how people behave. So that's the background for what that term nanny state means. So let's look at our author. So our author is Sarah Conley. Now, she holds the title of Associate Professor of Philosophy at Bowdoin College in Brunswick, Maine. She's the author of numerous essays, journal articles, and opinion pieces focusing on issues of personal choice and public policy. So she is a professor, but also an author, a journalist. Okay, and her focus is getting out that information on those issues of personal choice and public policy. So Sarah Conley is our author. So she's the one that who, okay, this is her opinion, her research that she has done. So I'm going to go ahead and hide all of that up there, which you can do as well after we've read that background. So we're not going to listen to it right now. I'm just going to read through a little bit and do that thinking process for how we're going to annotate. So starting out, it says, why has there been so much fuss about New York City's attempt to impose a soda ban, or more precisely, a ban on large-size sugary drinks? After all, people can still get as much soda as they want. This isn't prohibition. It's just that getting it would take slightly more effort. So why is this such a big deal? Okay, so when we go up here, we have all of these questions. So why has there been so much fuss about these sugary drinks? Okay, we also see, so why is this such a big deal? All right. We also see that she says this isn't prohibition. Now, prohibition happened in the 1920s where they put a law against the sale of alcohol. And so people went to underground markets to buy it. They had speakeasies that sold it. And so it was a big thing in the 1920s. And she's saying this is not the 1920s. It's not that big of a deal. Okay. Which is why she says, so why is this such a big deal? So this one I'm going to annotate. So I'm going to highlight that in yellow. And my annotation mark down here is that this is stating her claim. Okay. So she, our author, so Conley, believes that putting a ban, all right, on soda, on large sized, is not a problem. Okay, that's her claim. She's like, this isn't a big deal. All right, by her saying it's not a big deal, that's what we've got. And that's what she's understanding or saying. Okay, so I've got my annotation in, and now I'm going to continue on. Obviously, that's not about soda. It's because such a ban suggests that sometimes we need to be stopped from doing foolish stuff, and this has become, in contemporary American politics, highly controversial, no matter how trivial the particular issue is. Large cups of soda as symbols of human dignity. Really? So, again, we've got this right here, and I'm going to highlight that again in yellow. And so, what she's saying before I add my annotation notes. She's saying, obviously, it's not soda. It's the bigger picture here. It's that idea of Americans being stopped from doing things that are not good for them. Okay? Sometimes we need to be stopped for doing such foolish stuff. And this has become, in contemporary American politics, highly controversial. Okay, so by this, so our annotation here is that Conley believes that Americans should have limits put on their consumption when it benefits them. Okay, that idea. Why is it big? But really, it's not about the soda. The soda is just that catalyst. Okay, so the soda is just the catalyst. It's that thing that's starting the movement, it's sparking that problem. Okay, so again, these are all of the kind of what's going on, her claim, what she's thinking. Okay, Americans, even those who generally support government intervention in our daily lives, have a reflexive response to being told what to do, and it's not a positive one. Um, it's this common desire to be left alone that prompted the Mississippi legislature earlier this month to pass a ban on bans, a law that forbids municipalities to place local restrictions on food or drink. Municipalities are just local government. Okay, so I'm going to highlight this in a different color, or actually, I'm going to circle this and we'll circle it in green. And this just means it's the government. ERN. Okay, so municipalities equals government. Okay, so that's just to help understand there. To place local restrictions on food or drink. We have a vision of ourselves as free, rational beings who are who are totally capable of making all the decisions we need in order to create a good life. Give us complete liberty in bearing natural disasters. We'll end up where we want to be. It's a nice version, one that makes us feel proud of ourselves, but it's false. Okay, so right here, this is that counterclaim and rebuttal. Okay, so really it's Americans. This is our who. Are not really capable of restricting their intake when it comes to healthy eating. Okay, so let me go ahead and close that out. So these are the ways that you are going to annotate. So I have some with the claim, what our author is thinking, that why. Okay, Gamer says, why is this a big deal? Well, it's a big deal because Americans, right, we should have those limits put on us when we can't do that ourselves. But it's not really just the soda, it's kind of limiting other things as well. Okay, so this is how you are going to annotate. I'm not going to do the whole thing for you because, again, that's the skill that we're working on as well as doing our objective summary. Okay, so you're going to go in, you're going to complete those annotations. All right. And then when you're done, you're going to move on to our next assignment. All right. So this is where you are. You're going to listen, you read, and when you're done, you're going to go to the next assignment.